Looks like it's recording. So we are
Oh yeah.
starting. Hello, Tyler. So welcome everyone. I am 0.02timmy. I'm talking today with Tyler WithSpaces. He's a good friend of mine and a Reddit. He started as an avatar collector and then he's an artist, but with Reddit opening up avatars, I thought it would be really cool to sit down, talk with him about avatars, and then we're going to show at the end kind of how people can go through and make the avatars that they want to make and submit it. So if you're an NFT project or just an artist in general looking on how to submit avatars, and you don't want to make the mistakes that I'm sure many artists make along
Yeah.
the way, we'll hopefully shorten that learning curve for you. So welcome, Tyler. How are you today?
Hey, I'm doing good and excited to talk about all
Yeah.
this Reddit stuff. Yeah.
So why don't we just start with your background a little? One, I think it's you can bring a really unique perspective, especially for you're an artist, but also because you were, call it crypto native or
Mhm.
crypto literate before moving into avatars. I think a lot of current projects, if they have their own NFT projects and want to move to Reddit, you can talk about it. But yeah, just tell us your background and kind of what got you started into avatars.
Definitely. I mean, I'm a web3 native, but also a Reddit native. I've been on Reddit. My oldest account is like probably close to 10 years old.
Hmm.
So being both of those, like just seeing Reddit introduce the avatars, like I jumped on it real quick in the beginning. Um, Collecting. I think my first one was Mia Amor. And then just having a blast. I didn't expect it to like blow up like it did. Like it seemed like it was just like a fun little thing in the beginning.
Hmm.
And yeah,
Yeah. I call Reddit Web 2.5, by the way. Like it's
yeah,
not
seriously.
like I was having a conversation with someone like Reddit's different because it's not Web 2 and it's not Web 3, it's Web 2.5. Like it's that perfect like middle
Uh,
ground
I
between
know
the.
exactly what you mean. And it's kind of like kind of insane that I feel like it doesn't get as much like it doesn't get the reputation I think it deserves in Web3 because like they've been doing so much like I mean as you know like with moons and like they were like one of the first people to like use uh take Bitcoin as payment for like uh
Yeah, no, it's super cool. I mean, Alex Ohanian is like a huge
yeah.
a huge Web3 person who started Reddit, and so it's just super, super cool. But awesome. So tell us about, so you started collecting them, and then your first avatar was Gen 4, right?
I believe
Was
so,
Fragile
yeah.
Thought? Like
Yeah.
I think so. So talk about when avatars were released. How
Mhm.
soon after did you apply to be an artist, and how soon did you hear back?
So I applied, I think like as soon as I scrolled down and saw that little like apply to be an artist. But it took a while. Because that was Gen 1 that I applied, and then it was like a year later, I think, when Gen 4 came out. So it did take a little bit. Um, and yeah, I was very
Did
excited.
so your first avatar was Fragile Thought, and
Yeah.
actually, I wonder. Yeah, so it was Fragile Thoughts. I'll put something up. Actually, let me see if I can get it now, and I'll share my screen if I can,
Okay.
and just to show people. Um,
Yes.
uh,
While you're putting that up, some explanation too.
yeah, I'm like, this is horrible podcast form, but I want to pull up what Fragile Thoughts looks like.
Hell yeah.
I know I have it on my OpenSea, but so it was Fragile Thoughts. What was that creation process like? So I assume you were approved shortly after Gen 3, right?
Yes. Yep.
And then what was that process of like making the average? So did you have Fragile Thoughts in
No.
the oven? So you were approved and
Yeah.
then you started making? Okay.
Yeah. So
And
it was kind of intimidating at first, honestly, because like you get accepted and you're like, holy shit, like this doesn't it you kind of want it to happen, but like you don't know what will happen once you're accepted.
mhm.
And then I just spent a few weekends in a row just working on that. And yeah, I guess I don't know.
Yeah. So I can't even get, I forget my MetaMask password on this. whatever. We'll get to it later.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah.
show it. Actually, we'll show it when you talk about it. So it was Fragile
Okay.
Thoughts. What was your goal when you were making it? Like, because it was super unique. There was nothing like it
Yeah,
that came out before.
that
So
was
what,
kind of my goal because I typically work in like with 3D, digital 3D. So, and I know at the time there wasn't too many that like really explored that side of things. Like there was one, I think the closest was from Gen 1. I forget the name of it, but the one with the baked goods. Do you remember the name of that one?
which one?
It was like the cake. I want to say it was like baked goods. It kind of looked 3D. I don't know if it was actually 3D or just
Hmm.
drawn to look 3D. I can't think of the name.
It's okay.
Um,
But okay,
but
yeah, I do think that I don't think there were any 3D avatars until Gen 4, and there was yours, and then
yeah,
I think Earth the Planet had a few,
yep,
and like, but yeah, so you did that, and then you had released the poll in Gen 5, and that
yeah.
again, what again, super unique, but what were like that one was super cool. Was that super hard to make? Like,
That one did take. That one was a little bit more like mind bending to work on because just trying to get like the shape of the Reddit snoo, like in that like uh that pipe sort of design. It took like a lot of like
I love the
literally
animation
pushing and
for it
pull.
because it was. I mean, for those who don't know, there's also Tyler Faust, who's a very popular
Oh yeah.
one-line avatar artist, and yours of like you kind of. I don't know if you were inspired by his work at all, but like it was a single-lined avatar, but
Mhm.
three-dimensional instead of two-dimensional. Like that's super cool. So
Thank you.
no, I loved it. So we can actually bring if you want to bring up the creator
Yeah, yeah.
portal for other people to see. So when you go to Reddit, as Tyler brings it up, what's going to happen is you can go to the avatars and then there's the create button. So
Mhm.
you have this creator portal
Yep.
and the
I'll go back real
yeah,
quick.
what why don't you tell us? But basically the first thing you would want to do is download the templates and read about it.
Yep. And that's super easy to find. Once you get in here, you have your quick links that you can just download your template. Also, you could visit the help center, obviously, which there's like a lot of, I had a lot of questions at first going in, and they do a good job explaining like a lot of kind of like the limitations because with certain file formats, you have to like have them within a certain size, and some other things I guess we'll talk about in a
Yeah.
second. Um,
Also worth pointing out too is to set up, you need a Stripe account
yep.
and a Web3 wallet, which
Mhm.
is super easy. Most people end up using their Reddit vaults, I would imagine, but I'm
Yeah.
sure as more and more NFT projects and other products move in, they'll have their own wallet, which will be super cool. Um, so yeah, walk us through creating an avatar.
Yeah,
Um,
sure. So I guess the first place to start is once you have the template, they have like a Photoshop version. I believe they have uh, a vector version too for Illustrator. Because that was
yeah,
actually one of the things in the beginning. I think they only had vector avatars for the first gen, if I
I
remember
think so.
correctly. And then like Gen 3, they added the um, regular PNG ones. Um, so the way I kind of went about it is I exported this and moved into my software that I like using, Blender. Um, and you can obviously go through all the, where are they? Why is this not working? Oh, you can
Oh, that's
export.
super cool.
Yeah. So the way I did it at least was I exported these different layers into Blender, um, and then sort of like built my avatar around it. Uh,
Okay.
so and I guess that will all depend be different for each artist. But then once you have your assets together, which you'll export as basically in this aspect ratio with uh the trait in the position that it is in the template, you can come over to the creator portal. And in here they do have like some examples, so like you could just like test stuff out. Um,
Mm.
but so you have to upload your file. And I know one issue that I was having
So
It's
this for everyone, this is the fragile thoughts.
yeah,
So
yeah. Um, so it does have to be within like a certain. I should have looked this up beforehand, but it has to be the same aspect ratio and below a certain uh size. I forget the exact size.
that'll be
But
in the
that
help center, I'm sure.
yes, definitely. But I know that that was a thing. That was something that was a bit confusing at first because I think if you upload something that's too big, I don't know if this one's too big. Which one are we in? Ops. Let me see. It doesn't say it here. But if it's too big, it says that it has to be within a certain aspect or within a certain pixel by pixel ratio. Um,
Mm.
but that is actually just the minimum, which was something that I kept getting confused with. So you can actually go bigger than that as long as it's under the max file size. Um,
Okay.
but it's the way it's worded, it sounds like it has to be like this. I think it's
This
like
is also super cool. I'm just like, sorry, I'm having an ADD
no,
moment. But for projects, you like if you want to release multiple avatars that all mash together, you could use this and see
yes,
how they all play together. That's really, really cool, actually. So you can
yeah.
like,
Low key, I do maybe if Reddit sees this, it would be cool to like have your other avatars imported into like these samples, like maybe like something that's in your wallet, just so you can like experiment with like other avatars.
well, I'm even thinking like, let's say you have a 10,000 PFP collection, you could, in a
Ooh.
way, try like bring in the different traits and see
Mhm.
how like make your own PFP on Reddit, and that would be super cool to see too. Like,
No, definitely. I hope they end up doing that.
yeah, no, I'm like the it's so funny. I feel like it's onto something when I get so excited. I'm like, ooh, this is
Mhm.
new. Like I'm inspired right now. So you did that, and then talk about the backgrounds because I feel like that's something that it's it's interesting. Some people I've heard from many different artists, some love their background design and spend so much time on it, and other people don't spend any time on it. Yeah, I'll let you build the
Yeah, I mean,
avatar.
I was gonna do it while they're talking. But so I know, I don't know. For me, I did tend to go with like more simple backgrounds. Like with this one, it was just this like textured background. To upload in 1 second. Um, losing my train of thought. There you go. Um, but I know obviously people do some really cool stuff. Okay, this is actually that screen that I was
Oh,
talking
okay.
about. So it
Perfect.
says the resolution must be set to 552 by 736. But you can go larger than that as long as it's within a certain um
Ratio,
size.
basically.
Yeah. So
Got
like
it.
same ratio, but needs to be within, I think I want to say like 1 or 2 megabytes. Um,
So when you were submitting to, did you get like a any reject not I don't want to say rejections,
yeah.
but from what I've heard is sometimes Reddit comes back and says, well, flat out, no way in hell we're doing this, or like, hey, you need to fix these. Did you experience that at all, or
Yeah, so the first time so I haven't not any that were like rejected outright, but I've had like multiple times where I like uploaded and then I had to like change like for instance, the first time I had an issue with like the sizing of it, they sent a message back to me saying that I needed to re-upload within like these certain parameters, which
okay.
is really easy, and it was really like talking to the Reddit team, like they were really like friendly about everything, which was awesome. Like, cause I was expecting them to be like, this kid messed up, just toss him away. Like, don't,
All done.
yeah,
I've heard that from a lot of people about Reddit. Like the team behind it
mhm,
is super supportive and strong,
definitely,
which is
yeah.
really, really cool to I think it's great for artists too. So, awesome. Do you have any avatars cooking right now, or are you focused
I
on?
I don't have any cooking right now. I do have it's cooking up here, I guess. But
Mhm.
I've been a little busy with some other projects, but I definitely want to get like another one out. I've only released the two so far, and I want to just keep releasing. I think one at a time, like every like periodically. Um,
Are you, if there a big community of artists that help
mhm.
each other, like, are you in that at all, or like, do you see it?
I'm kind
Are
of
there?
embarrassed to say, but I feel like so there is a subreddit that they put all the artists in, and it's really cool just seeing like all the posts, especially like when new people come in. And come to think about it, I'm not sure how that works now since they opened it up to everyone because before they just it's a private subreddit and they added the people that were accepted. Um,
Hmm.
so maybe they'll open that up. I'm not too sure, but before they opened it up, it was cool because it was like this little community of like all these like new people asking questions and like all these like veterans that like you've been collecting their avatars for like a year and like they're just like helping these new guys. It was really cool to like
No, it's funny too.
that.
Like, even the first one, I heard stories of like some artists struggling early on and other artists like helping out and getting avatars. And I think that's something that's really cool. I think it would probably what I expected. You'll have
Mhm.
like traditional artists who want to make avatars, which I think
Yeah.
there's a lot right now, and like they might fall into their category. And then I envision it as you'll have a community of Polygon project artists helping each other and Cardano projects helping, and hopefully there's crossover with whatever Solana might bring some people in. But
Mhm.
like then it's funny too because I'm like that. I'm all about bringing communities together, and I think that would be something really cool. Like instead of Cardano
Instead
versus
of like,
Solana versus
yeah.
Polygon versus Ethereum, it's like, oh, we are the Web3 artists, and it's like just extends the group. Like,
I
okay,
mean,
now,
even just from your post, because I mean, you made that post, that Twitter post, when they opened it up, and like there were so many comments under that, and it was like exactly what you're saying, like really cool seeing like people from Polygon and like people from Cardano, like maybe not super intermingling yet, but like they're all like in the same
yeah,
spot. You know
like,
what I
ooh,
mean? Which is
we
cool.
can do something with that.
Yeah.
No, it is really cool, and it's funny. I'm like, personally, I'm probably mostly into Cardano and Polygon, so
Mhm.
that's
Same,
those are the
same.
people I follow and who follow me. But I'm like, I would love to see everyone. Like, I
Yeah.
don't care what chain people are on. Like,
No,
my
yeah.
mindset of like, do you make cool shit or do you not? And then, well, like,
Even like non like NFT or people who haven't like ventured into it yet, because like it really is such. I made a post on Reddit the other day about how it's like I feel like it's really gonna help like people understand like the benefits of this, like the benefits it brings to like digital artists. And there's, I mean, most artists these days are probably working digitally in one way or another. Um,
yeah. Do you mind not
so
sharing your screen
yeah, yeah, sorry.
anymore? Yeah. No, it's totally fine. No, I hear it, and like, it's really funny because like some of the like I know we talked earlier, but like one of my very good friends, Jess Hansen, is not she I was talking to her, she was like, she didn't even know how to she was buying avatars on OpenSea with her credit card through MoonPay on MetaMask. And
Okay. Yeah.
I'm like, and that's like where people are coming from. She is a traditional
Yeah.
artist and a very talented traditional artist. And I'm like, that would be great to have these because it's really hard to understand. Like, and it's I don't want to say it's
No,
hard.
no, I
It's
mean,
not hard. It's a lot of steps, and it's very, I think it's different than the way people are programmed like their
no,
whole life. It's
definitely.
something new. And it's like,
Yeah.
I see artists as people who will get it quickly because I, I can't do art, but I really respect like pushing the boundaries, pushing your brain to think and then
But you
explore.
can do art. And I,
Yeah,
in my
like
opinion, I do
you
have a
can't do
couple of
art
0.02
and be like,
Timmy.
"Oh, I'm comfortable. I'm going to do what's comfortable." Like that's not art. So like I think people that mindset comes across in different ways, but
Mhm.
100% of artists think that way. So it's like,
Yeah.
okay, cool. These people can learn this new technology. And I would imagine a lot of artists have realized that you, I mean, the 80/20 split to the artist is probably unheard of in the art
Yes.
community. And
Yeah.
like artists realize like, ooh, I can actually make a living doing Web3 art and it's my art and no one can copy it. Like
Mhm.
this is my address. Everyone knows this is my address.
Yep.
What comes from this is me, and like so it's a really cool. I see it as a huge bonus to artists, and hopefully more people, traditional artists, move over, especially if you're a digital artist not
Mhm.
using blockchain. I don't want to be critical, but I would at least say explore it and see like the
Yeah.
difference, because you might be selling yourself short. I think that's the best way to put
No,
it.
definitely. And I feel like it's such like an easy onboard for artists too. Like whereas before, if you wanted to get into Web3, you have to have, I mean, the barrier to entry, like you could do like, I mean, the stereotypical PFP project, but then you have to like know how to do the generations and like do all that. Whereas with
Write a
this, it's
smart
kind of,
contract.
yeah,
Like,
do all that craziness. Whereas like here, it's just like we just did on the screen, you just follow step one, step two, step three, and then
and I think it's one thing that's great about Reddit is like I can't help people do the art, but I know
mhm,
you can, and I know that I know people who are like it's a
yeah,
fun community, which is super fun. So, no, it's really cool. So,
actually, well,
yeah, go ahead.
because I think I can go forward in this on this create screen to show some of the other stuff, um, like the pricing and stuff. If you think
Oh,
it's
that
worth
would be great.
showing,
Yes, let's talk pricing. Did
yeah,
they
let me.
change the number of mints, by the way, that you can
They
do? Because
did.
before it was, I thought it was 500, 500, 250 or whatever, but like
Mhm.
it had to be whatever
So I haven't
intervals of
checked it
50.
since. Yeah, I haven't. So I know up to Gen 3 they had it like pretty hard set. Like if you did like zero through, or if you did 100 to 200, it was like a certain price.
Hmm.
Then 200, 250 to 500 or something. It was all like dead set on certain pricing. And then capping out. Oh, is it not gonna let me? One second. Um, I hope one of these work. Okay. Or okay. But yeah, so and then I guess they did change it with Gen 5, I think, where like you can choose.
Yep. So just so
Yeah.
everyone's aware, it's $5 to $50 and
Yep.
50 mints to 500 mints. But
Mhm.
in Gen 5 and going forward, I saw basically everyone was 50, 100, 200, 250, 400, 500. But now
Yep.
I'm seeing stuff that are like 99 mints, or
Yeah.
I think there are collections with 69 mints and silly
Which
stuff like that.
even then, I think if you did message them, they would let you like do like the just like giving the Reddit team their roses. Like if you did message them to do something specific like that, they would allow you to do it. Like
Okay.
even like on this on Fragile Thoughts, I had like the left and right trait. And I messaged them if it could be like hidden in the shop and then like revealed once people got it.
That's
Which
really cool. So you can definitely do different stuff like that.
yeah, that might actually be built into here now. I think they said, but somewhere. Um, but yeah, so on this screen, you basically just you have up to three options for the name. So you have your main collection name and
I
then
don't
two
think we're on the right
backups.
page.
Oh, can you not?
We've been looking at your desktop.
Oh no. Sorry, my
No, it's
bad.
all good. That's a problem with sharing screen sometimes.
Yeah. Can you see this now?
Yep, now we can see it.
Okay. Um, so yeah, from just continuing on from like this page, you gotta add
Yeah.
details, and then you have like the collection name, and then you can choose two backups to do. Um, and then obviously you have the description under it, and then you can choose your pricing here. So I
Okay.
guess this is hard set, so you can just do 5, 10, 25, or 50.
Mm-hmm. So if you pick that. Oh,
Mhm.
okay. And then for the inventory, you
Yeah,
can just okay.
maybe like 1 on 9. Not
And
sure.
then select what this is. I didn't know they had topics. Hold on.
I didn't know this either. This is new. I
This is super cool, actually.
This is really interesting.
Okay, let's go through this. So
Yeah, yeah.
this looks like when you create a Twitter account or whatever and they ask you
Yep.
like what are you interested in? So this must be Reddit even like
For like the
I
store,
bet they're
maybe.
building it out so that they'll say like this is this could be, let's market these avatars to people who are in these subs or something.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, it is. This is cool. Yeah, they didn't have this the last time I was on here.
Oh my goodness, this is funny. I could watches like that would be funny if
Yeah.
like, oh my God, I'm seeing like Rolex coming out with their own avatars and like silly stuff like that. But also subreddits could do this. This is really
I'm
cool.
surprised we haven't seen more like subreddit specific
I'm
by like
shocked
from
too.
artists.
Like I think that's going to come in big because but like were you the one that was saying you were going to do it or was it someone else I was talking to that had
Uh,
I
I don't think.
forget who it was. But I know that people are planning on it like for their subs like this is going to be really cool. I mean like
Yeah, that'll be really cool to see.
yeah.
Um,
And then, so the description comes up, and then if the inspired by new or
no, that's always been there, and I think that's just for the Reddit team. What does it say? Yeah, this won't be shown as part of your collectible, but it helps our team review your submission.
mm,
So I guess it's just like some notes to Reddit.
that's really cool. Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was inspired by Board Ape Yacht Club. Like
Yep.
whatever it is, that's funny. That's cool. No,
I don't
I
know. Oh no, I'm just gonna enter in
yeah,
random stuff to see if there's anything new on the next page. But um,
yeah. Keep it friendly, friendly.
yeah, I guess this is all the same. But
And now, just so everyone knows, Tyler entered the bare minimum,
mhm.
but you can add accessories and stuff like that. How did you go about thinking about those accessories? I'm just curious. So in the optional button, you have hair, hats, left side, right side.
I so it was kind of specific for mine. So like I'll drop them in real quick. The idea behind Fragile Thoughts was like I wanted it to be like, oh, that's the wrong version, but we're gonna go with it. Um, so I had these hidden in the when it was in the shop, and then I wanted it to like be shown once they showed up in someone's wallet. So it'll be like
And
it's
that's
already
what
starting to like fall apart because like the pieces start falling.
that's
Um,
really cool. No, it's funny because your avatar did this, and there were definitely some other ones where it was hidden in the shop. And when I bought it, I'm like, this isn't what I bought. Like,
yeah,
but I see it, I'm like, this is really cool. So,
that was like the Tyler Frost, the Ghost. That threw me off so much because I think that was like the first gen where they actually had the where you could do that. Where it
mhm.
was like different in the shop.
I
So
know
like,
Treasure of Ophiel had it in basically all of theirs. Like,
yeah.
but no, that's super cool. But yeah, so if you guys have projects that you want to do and you want to add traits, you can do that. One thing too that I don't think everyone realizes, and I think it's super cool.
Mhm.
And I think Rosian was the first one to do this, but having redundant traits is
Yes.
really, really cool. And the reason, just from a collector standpoint, so everyone knows, is we like to mash. We like to put different combinations together. And if you have a really cool trait that applies to kind of everything
Mhm.
and you make it redundant, it just brings this whole new level of like when I say it, I think about Jessica Hansen's Eclipse, where you have the eclipse like beam in the
Oh,
background, and it's a
yeah.
redundant trait so that you can I think it was either part of the top or the bottom, and then it was either I think it was a right side trait as well. So even if you didn't have the top background, you could still highlight it. Like it was
Mhm.
really, really cool. And I know Rojam had that on a whole bunch of his and you can do it. It's really great when you have hidden traits as well to kind of bring them through. But that was something that I'm like, everyone should know that you can have redundant traits if you want, and that at the new level of mashability.
Definitely.
What did you think about when you, I would say different artists have different priorities, right? Like
Mhm.
some people think of this one's going to be good for mashing, this one's going to be a collection piece, this one's just, I like it. Did you have any priority of like what you were trying to do or what you were
Uh,
considering?
so I mean, with Fragile Thoughts, it was definitely like just trying to make something cool, like bring like the 3D side into
Mhm.
to Reddit avatars, and I was kind of worried when I posted it too. Like people were worried too that it wouldn't mash well, which I mean, depending on how you see it, it mashes doesn't mash well with
I
everything.
mashed
But
it with quite a few. I think the eyes are an awesome mash feature because they're, I don't know, if you want to look like you have diamonds in your eyes, it's perfect.
yeah,
Like,
true.
and then the pole, no offense, is really hard to mash because
Oh
it
yeah,
was.
no, and so that one, the way I did the poll is like I wanted it to mash, which I don't know if it's like selfish to say, but like specifically to mash with like fragile thoughts. Well, since there's like 2,000 of those out, and then like only 109 of the pull out, I was trying to like if I can,
Can you
I might,
show it? Yeah, because
yeah,
I haven't
I'll
even
try
seen it.
to.
I would. This is great for everyone to know, like how you can play around with avatars, actually. And I'll even pull up like what I love
I
about it,
guess.
just so more people can even see it and someone's creating, going like, "Oh, this is really, really cool."
Mhm. I'm just trying to get the files together before I.
This is new too. I didn't realize in the shop they had a. I'm going to share my screen
Yeah.
before you do yours. But this is, I did not realize that they actually allowed, um, I'll keep you over there. So they have this, which is really cool, featured artist of the
Oh,
week.
damn. That's cool.
Like, so yeah, so this is the shop. Basically, you go and you can see all of it. Ooh, Banquet almost sold out. But then if you go to you see all of your avatars and past looks and stuff like that. And then, oh, this is also new. I love like seeing new things. So just so everyone's
Mm.
aware, before you had to create your avatar and then pick the background, but now you can kind of do it at the same time. If you have my biggest complaint, and hopefully Reddit works on this part because I don't know how many avatars I have, probably damn near 200 or more, where finding what I want is a
Mhm.
pain in searching. But I could do, I don't know. Let's let's pick Fragile Thoughts to start. I
Uh,
think I have like four to pick from. So if you do get the full look and then you have it there, you can pick the background there, and then you can just kind of have some fun with it where I want to wear my
They
HODL
had
hat,
hell yeah.
or
I didn't
you
know you had
could
one of
go to
those.
style, and if so, you could either have the avatars specifically that you want, or you could have style, and let's go, okay, what other hats do I want? And then this will show mobile is way better.
Mm.
Because what mobile does is first mobile puts the premium avatar of the one that you buy at the top, these ones down below. So I could do my HODL hat, I could do my golden cone, whatever I want.
Yeah, and this is
Let's,
really cool to see. I didn't know, like, for instance, with the eyes, I didn't know that that was considered a hat in that collection.
what was it?
Like
Oh,
the head of the eyes, I didn't know. It's cool seeing like all these listed out like this.
yeah,
Um,
and I've done it this way. It's funny, like you can mash different ways, and when I just want to be creative, I just go in here and
mhm.
then let's go face. Um, oh, all right, so it takes away the eyes. Um, are these premium avatar? Oh, you know what this is? So
Oh,
yeah, these are the free one. These are free. These are my premium ones. I didn't have very many. And then these are because I have Reddit Premium.
premium. Okay.
But yeah, so it's just so much fun to mash around. If I wanted to do all my classic foul slings, I can do that. And then you can just play around them like whatever you want to do. I One thing too that I like is the color. So I made the color of my face gold But
That
then,
sweet province, that was one I was talking about earlier. With the where it
oh
sort of had the 3D look.
yeah,
That one's been on my bucket list for so long. I'm gonna
yeah.
grab it one day, but
I actually got I know I got that one for as a steal, but yeah, there's ooh, I didn't know Golden Display Box had redundant traits. So this is exactly what I'm talking about with the redundant trait. So I could have that.
oh shit, I see that's
So
cool.
like I don't know which one. I'm guessing one is left hand and one is right hand.
Mhm.
But then if I went to this is the problem. So
Yeah.
I think and this is what I'm talking about too with did Opal have the redundant trait? Opal did not. Yeah, everyone can see my collection and how long it takes to go through acid bleed. So you can see it. Eclipse has it too. This is what I was talking about with the redundant shine. That's so
Yeah.
cool.
Wow.
Um, and then yeah, oh my goodness, that's really funny. That's like I think of that like when you get donuts from Dunkin' Donuts or
Mhm.
whatever in the display. But yeah, so this is how you mash around. You can do that's really disgusting. But um sorry Faust. But yeah, it's a lot of fun to just play around and you can just kind of play with different traits
Mhm.
um that go around and then you can get looks and then I'm not going to save this because this would be a horrible mashup. Well, it's not that bad. It's not what I would it's not my style.
Mhm.
But no, it's fun. You can just do a whole bunch of different backgrounds, see what works well together. One of my favorite things to do too, actually, let's see if I can do it, is I love when people do silly stuff like make characters look like other people. So like you can have this guy and then you can do
Mhm.
other little I'll change the mustache. Where is it? Like this guy to me looks like if you've watched the show Fortune Fire, he looks like one of the judges and stuff like that. And it's just that's what's
Mhm.
fun to me of like you get to play around, but I would love to see
I'm
actually.
surprised we haven't seen more of that. Like, I mean, maybe I haven't. Maybe
And
I've just been
then
missing. But
what's so just so everyone's aware too, so this would be like Deadfellas had
mhm.
collections dropped. I don't even know where it is. Um, but Deadfellas did one and Cool Cats are the two projects I would say that in the space that are big, and then obviously PR Guitarman's Nine Cat were
Mhm.
another one, but I can see it like the floodgates opening now. Did you want
Oh
to share
yeah.
your screen to show something?
Oh yeah. I was just gonna show this. Where is it? This is just what I was talking about, where having them mesh specifically rather than like trying to mesh with other stuff. Is it showing?
I love, by the way, the little snoo inside Fragile Thoughts,
Oh
but
yeah.
that's actually, oh my goodness. Okay. I think you might have just like boosted the pulse on secondary because that was really, really cool. Like that
Yeah,
look.
it's kind of like hidden.
Actually,
That yeah.
talk about the hidden traits a little bit because I don't think people
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, honestly. So I know for fragile thoughts, if I go back to
because that's one of the things as collectors people
mhm.
really love. And I think it takes a lot of talent and foresight to see through.
Yeah, so with fragile thoughts, I basically had let me actually I'll pull it up here. Nope, not here. Let me do this off screen just in case.
Putting you on the putting you on the spot.
But so with the way traits are layered, which it's I want to say feet in the back, and then the body, and then head, eyes, and then any other traits are like on top of those. Which except for the hair, if the one cool thing that I feel like people haven't taken full or artists haven't taken full advantage of is hair is both on the layer that's all the way in the back and all the way in the front, or maybe just below the side traits. So on
Hmm.
that layer, you can basically have stuff both in front and behind the avatar. So like when you
Huh.
upload the hair, you actually upload two images, like so the hair front and then hair back. Which
Huh.
that's kind of a tangent, but
Wow.
yeah,
That's really cool. Hair back must have a front hair counterpart. And okay, so you can have a hair only front, right?
yeah,
But then if you put a that's oh my God. Okay.
yeah,
It's so funny. I'm like, I love that we're doing this because I wonder if other artists will see it and like, huh, I can do something with that. Like, even put,
Mhm.
like, made the connection there. That's actually could be really, really cool. What's quite funny too is like, there are
Mhm.
some, I will say this as someone who loves to mash,
Yeah.
knowing the order that things go in is super important
Oh yeah,
because there are some pieces that I would love to match with, but it doesn't look right in the order where like it'll if you're wearing a hat and then you have hair that goes in front of the hat, it looks kind of dumb. Like because
yeah,
that's not reality. Like the hat should go on top of the hair and things like that. But no, that's super cool. I didn't know that.
yeah. And I
Oh.
feel like artists can definitely do something cool with that. Just being like having traits on both sides of the avatar.
What I think is going to be super cool too,
Mhm.
opening, I think the way it was set up, Gen 1 through, let's say, Gen 4, Gen 5, where like you're an artist, you submit between 1 and 3 avatars at this much quantity, and it goes out, and you know you're going to have to wait, call it 3 to 6 months before
Mhm.
you even have a shot at having more avatars. I would love to see avatars and artists taking risks and making 50 minutes at $10 or $5 and doing something really different because like
True,
from my
yeah.
perspective, like if the artists I think the best artists are the ones that communicate with the community and are always posting and sharing it. And I
Mhm.
love the backstory behind stuff. So it's like, hey, here's something new. I'm trying something different and I'm selling it not at an outrageous price, but like
Yeah, just
I
completely
wonder how it's going to
experimenting. That
play out.
is
Like
fun. Yeah.
I'll be honest, I won't care if I spend $5 and it's a flop if I knew that you were deliberately pushing the boundaries and didn't know how it would work out. Like, cool, I'll spend $5 to be a part of that experiment and play around with it and like see if it works. And I think that the way one, everyone can submit art and
Mhm.
you can release basically, I think it's 3 a week, whatever it is. You can release on your own timeline. So like push the boundaries. Who cares? It's going to be fun.
You
And
know,
yeah, some people might complain that you're trying to milk the community, but like realistically, it's five
yeah,
bucks.
if it's just
Like,
yeah, if you're just releasing like a couple at a time at that, which you just made me think too that this wasn't possible before they opened it up. Like, 'cause obviously, like some artists are just trying to like I just have my two avatars that I released on one account, and like if it wasn't opened up, I wouldn't really want to experiment on it just because I have like that as like a like that gallery, but like with it opened up, I have my other Reddit. I mean, I don't know if this breaks any Reddit rules, but
oh,
like using like another account to like experiment with,
yeah, so
again, I don't
that you
know if
don't call
that
it like
breaks
ruin
rules.
your own. That's a,
Or
yeah,
just so like they don't get lost. So like you have like one for stuff here like that you like really one for
yeah.
experimenting and then one for like
Yeah, you could
I
do
don't know.
one like actual with spaces, and then you could do call it trial with spaces or like
Yeah.
something like that would be fun. That's actually super interesting that I didn't even think of. I wonder if that's against Reddit's rules.
Yeah, I'm not
This
sure. When I was saying that,
this
I'm
is
like maybe
this
this
is
is
two people brainstorming, so
yeah.
don't take what we say
Yeah.
like too seriously. None of this is financial advice, none of it
Nope.
like yeah. Those
Yeah,
are the disclaimers, but like if Reddit allows it, it would be super cool for
definitely.
sure. No, that was fun. So let's
Yeah,
switch
so
gears.
quick. Oh,
Go ahead. No,
oh no, I
you.
was gonna with the hidden traits.
Oh yes.
I mean, it basically we're kind of already talked about it with the layering. You can use the layering to like hide certain things. Like on mine, I just had the bottoms with
Hmm.
just
So you're able to do it, and then you know that.
yeah. So like when
Yeah.
it has like other stuff on top of it, like you might not be able to see it, but you can just use
Mm.
any
So
certain.
that was literally just the legs.
Yeah.
that went
with
all the way
the
up.
snoo, yeah.
Yeah, that's so cool. I love seeing like the background, getting sneak peek. I know for me it makes me appreciate it more. I
Mhm.
I was so another avatar artist, Fatty Bags, who was
Mhm.
around since Gen 1, he made a Twitter post a few weeks back that I thought I never thought about it, but especially with he was talking in the context of AI art and
Mhm.
artists showing proof of work, meaning like your process going through and creating it is going to be a huge advantage if artists do that. And he was looking
Definitely.
at it like to
I
show that
agree.
you actually made it and it wasn't AI,
Mhm.
but also, and I saw it of like it's really cool even to just see the creation and what the artist was thinking. Like,
Mhm.
yeah, you can watch a movie, but like people also love the behind the scenes. Like
Yeah, yeah.
big fans. So I'm like, no, that's really cool to see what artists do, and I would love to see more artists put out content of like this is the avatar, this is how I created it, here's what I was thinking. Like it's really cool backstories. And
No, I
we don't
agree.
have any avatar historians. And I wish someone would be a like we could have a Bible of like Gen 1 we had whatever.
I
There
mean,
was
I would
this
argue that, I mean, I don't know if you would call yourself an historian, but like just the way you've been doing like interviews and like talking about generations, like in a way that kind of becomes like an
yeah,
archive of like 10 years from now if Reddit,
yeah.
if
No,
every art,
I,
yeah.
and it's funny because I I'm glad that you say that because I'm like, we don't have a historian. Like, people who are joining now have no idea how crazy it was when JW Poppy was like just sweeping floors like crazy.
Oh,
And
right, yeah.
like, and then you're like, that now he's not really into Avatar, so you don't see it. Even I wonder how many people know Sam Z Fury, like
Mm,
who I would call the queen of Reddit Web3.
yeah.
Like so many number ones has huge and moons, like all of those things where it's like people don't know the history. So I do love talking to people and just putting content, but it's like, and it's one thing that I think Bitcone did really well is when Eco started the lore and the
Yeah.
history, and then we can just add to it. Like, okay,
Yeah.
these are major events. At least you can take a snapshot where it would be someone should put in. I can't do it. I don't have time. I'm like, could I
I
put
mean,
it
like I
together?
said,
I
we're
don't think
kind of
I
different,
could.
but
But if anyone wants to put it together and ask me or you or people who have been around from the beginning how
mhm.
to put it together, I would absolutely do that. But it would be fun to go like, okay, maybe maybe I could do that and talk to like all the Gen 1 artists and what they did and what they saw.
Mhm.
But like it's been cool to see like people come in and out and moving. But
No,
no.
definitely.
I was going to say moving away from avatars,
Mhm.
what projects are you working on yourself? I know you're wearing a Clay Nation shirt. So
Yeah.
like talk about what you're working on.
I mean, I wish I had more exciting things to talk about right now. It's mostly just so I do like freelance work for like some architecture stuff on the side. So it's mostly just like not boring but less interesting, just like drafting and stuff. And then like some other like commercial stuff. So I don't really have too much exciting stuff to talk about
Okay.
today, but
Okay.
um yeah, I don't know.
You'll keep us informed.
Yeah.
I were you no, it wasn't you, it was someone else. Talk about and I don't know this at all, but you would know more as an artist. Someone mentioned thinking it would be super cool if Book.io came to Reddit avatars. Would that
That
be
would be
possible
interesting.
in any way? Like,
So I mean, I bet it would be possible. I mean, just off the top of my head, like them releasing some type of
actually,
Reddit.
before we get into it,
Yeah, yeah,
I'm sure
yeah.
people watching this have no idea what
True,
Book.io is.
true,
So
true.
you want to give a little bit of background of what Book.io is, and then we can talk about is it possible?
Sure. And this might be like the most basic explanation. But so they're a project. I believe they're on a couple of chains now. It's not just Cardano, I think. But
Yeah, I know that they said that they were moving to multi-chain. I don't know if they actually have. But they started
yeah,
on Cardano, and if they're not a multi-chain, they will be multi-chain.
yeah.
But
But they're basically just I guess you would kind of call it a blockchain publishing company where they're releasing books onto the blockchain. And they started out with like just open source books to like test things. Um, and basically the NFTs, you hold the NFTs of the book similar to like you would an audio, like a digital book, but you have like the NFT that actually like becomes tradable. And like you could send it to a friend, obviously. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, I guess that's like a really basic explanation, but
No, it is very basic, but that's fine. I do, from what I know too, is they are the benefit for authors and people who
yeah,
write is increased royalties, and they get more from their work, but also metrics and tracking and being able to see kind of
true.
like what people, how many people have your book and are people reading it and all of those. Like you can see more analytics because it's on the blockchain. And I don't
Mhm.
know, I haven't dug super deep into it, but like just that in general, and I'm sure you could run a whole bunch of different data points. And I know that in their spaces, I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago
Mhm.
when they were talking about their 24 roadmap is like really giving authors more power. And I'm like, I would love to see that. But okay, that's
No,
Book.io.
definitely. Yeah.
They're a Web3 publishing company,
Mhm.
but like, could they make it into avatars? It was Cardano Nudes was the one who said it
Oh
to
yeah,
me.
yeah.
Like,
I mean, the only thing I can imagine is if they like, or the first thing I can imagine is if they release like an avatar and then holding that avatar gave you access because they like have their app and everything where you can like read their books. Like you connect your Polygon or Reddit wallet to it, and then maybe you have access to the history of Reddit avatars, like
yeah,
a book or something. I don't know. That
that would
might be
be
too
cool.
far
And
out
I
there, but
like if there were authors who are also artists, I wonder if that would be like a, hey, you have my avatar and I will give you these books and things like that and
yeah.
linking it all
I
together.
mean, that's what's so cool about this too. It's like yeah, like Reddit has all the rights because I think when you do like part of the rights is like they like I can't resell Fragile Thoughts, for instance,
Yeah,
outside of Reddit. But being on the blockchain, like I could set up a part of my website that's like only accessible like if you connect your wallet and have
you
which I
can
think is like
token
super
gate.
cool for
So
yeah.
yeah, like, and
Um
it's a, yeah, no, it's super cool. Yeah, it's so funny too. I love, and I don't know if any of this is possible, and this is what I love about this. I was talking to, I won't share the name, but for Bitcone, we're partnering with a major company coming up. Like everyone knows.
damn.
Don't want to say everyone, but so many people know this company and they're like, we're going to be working with them. So it's going to be super cool. And when I was talking to their founder, what he said was like, I don't know how possible any of this is or what the final product looks like, but I know that it might be possible. And like, once it's possible, then people can take over and spread it. And like, that's what excites me about the space the most is
Oh
like,
yeah.
I have no idea what it's going to look like in 5 years. I know this
Oh
is
yeah.
possible, this is really cool, and we want to do it, and then we'll let the marketplace decide like, is it cool and viable, and do they like it enough? But just being able to do it is like the part of the fun. Like, let's go out, let's see if it works. And I think that what's appealing to, especially in such a young industry, I would say like appealing to people like, I don't know. Like it just sounds,
No, yeah.
it seems like fun. And like when your brain gets turning, like I have an idea and I have an idea, like, and I think the my favorite part is the permissionless aspect. Like you don't
Mhm.
have to go, hey, can I please do that? If it like no, it's like do it, see if people like it. Like
Yeah.
that's um
And I mean, not to pry on who it is, but is it a company that, or is it someone that is new to blockchain? Like, are you like one of their, is Bitcoin
nope.
one of their first, like,
They've
oh,
been
so they,
they've been around. I don't know when they were founded, truthfully.
mhm.
But they've been around for a while, and I would guess that many people, even if they don't use this company, they use something like a project that does very
Okay,
similar things. Um, but it's pretty it's super exciting. I would say it's the biggest one that Bitcoin's talked to date for sure.
damn.
Um, but that's all I'll say. I'm
Yeah,
like
yeah, I didn't
I
want to
might even
pry.
get I might even get in trouble for just saying like it's something big. But it was the idea was even the biggest the point of the statement was even the
Mhm.
biggest players in this industry are um don't know. I don't want to say they don't have a clear sense of direction because they do have a clear like end goal, and I would say not knowing what it looks like, but having a very big purpose, whether it's our purpose is to have artists get more royalties or authors earn more, like that's what's driving us and we're going
Mhm.
to do everything we can, or we want to help onboard people to web. I mean, that's basically what Bitcone, like
Yeah.
we want to help onboard people to web3, and we want to have content be monetized in a way that isn't tied to a central company. Like that's
Mhm.
the idea. So like it's like that's, but I don't know what that looks like. And I like we'll just try 1,000 different things and two or three of them will work. And then like those are the things that stick. But
Yeah.
that's what's fun about it. So no, it was cool. I would love to see Book.io do something. Because they're one of
Yeah,
my
that would be
favorite
pretty
projects,
cool.
and I do think too, this is something that even though avatars are on Polygon, they don't, it's like you can do whatever you want. Like
Yeah.
other chains can come because they're also on Reddit, and I think that that's an underutilized aspect for a lot of different projects.
No,
Like
definitely.
for sure. Like it's like, oh no, we're going to stay on Twitter. And it's like you're going to get drowned out on Twitter so much.
Oh, I
But
hope Web3 moves to Reddit. It would make so much sense, like with the communities and everything. But
yeah, it's weird because I this is where I get conflicted. I'm like, part of the reason why I like Reddit,
Mhm.
Web3 on Reddit is there's this much moderation on good subreddits. Like so you
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
get blatant shills and scams, and people will say like this is bullshit, and then it's like I mean, I know that the mods of the cryptocurrency sub are very, very intelligent and they're very
Mhm.
hardworking and they're trying to protect it. And I know people talk shit about them and I don't know why. Like, I'm like, no,
It's like every mods, all mods.
yeah, like, and it's like, no, if you've ever, I mean, you're a mod of C Cardano NFTs or CNFT. Which one is it?
Cardano NFTs,
Cardano NFT is a sub. But
which
like,
we
so
could
you
do a
probably
better
see it, but
job to
like, I
protect.
see it on Bitcoin. Like, if you're a Web3 sub, like, constantly spam
Mhm.
of like
Yeah.
these scam projects coming through. So it's like, yeah, but it's a good thing because if you're, I think crypto Twitter's really good for people native or like people who have an understanding, right? Like, oh,
Mhm.
you can read stuff, you know what you're doing, you know how to spot scams. Like, no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
That's a very obvious rug pull, whatever. But there needs to be that step in between of like, where people are just going to walk in and lose thousands and thousands of
Yeah.
dollars. Like, I
I
thought
mean,
that's like,
yeah,
it's like,
you go on Twitter now, you see like ads for like obvious scams that I don't even know how they're able to like get the ads in, but
no, I saw that too. Like, and they're like really bad stuff, like fake ledger ads and shit
yeah.
like that. And I'm like, come on, man. Like, where you would never see that on Reddit. And I've heard people say, I think when people move from Reddit to Twitter, um, everyone I've talked to, like, yeah, people coming from Reddit are really smart. I'm like, yeah, that's because if you say something stupid, you get downvoted. And
Yeah,
like,
true.
it forces the, and it's, if you don't take it personally, it forces you to go like, huh, that may have been a
Mhm.
bad take. Like,
Yeah.
or whatever. Like, let's see how it's wrong, or like, and you get to see this discourse and dialogue versus Twitter is just,
Just
and it's
yeah.
not that there's bad people. There's so many great people on Twitter. I don't mean it
Mhm.
like that, but
No, yeah.
the percentage of bad people that are allowed to stay bad on Twitter is higher. And I think that's what dilutes
Yeah.
it. And I think Reddit would be, I do think Reddit would be an awesome onboarding web 2.5, like learn about the blockchain, test it out, see it like especially when you have Moons and Bitcone and all of these other RCPs, then hopefully um other projects will like design something like that, going like, here is a free way where you can monetize it, and like if you lose it, like sorry, but
Mhm.
like not like it's unfortunate, but you lost something that you earned effectively for free and didn't spend
Yeah.
money on. So no, that's kind of my thought. It was fun talking to you though. Do you have anything else
Yeah,
you'd like
no.
to say before we wrap this up? We've been going for about an hour. This
I don't
well,
I don't think so.
All right. Well, thank you, Tyler.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
thank you too. This was fun.
Yeah. And we'll be, I'll probably try to get this published tomorrow on my
Okay.
YouTube, and then I'll make a Twitter post and share it, and hopefully people will check it out. I think it'll be fun. What are your socials? And I'll post them too. How can people find you?
Uh, I guess the easiest way is my website is just tyler.art, and then I have everything posted on there.
Okay, Tyler.art.
Yeah,
But
I have everything. I'm either with spaces or TYLR with spaces on socials, but
okay. No, that is awesome. Well, everyone check out Tyler. He is a fantastic artist too. I actually, before we go, it's so funny. I'm like, this is how great Reddit is too. Like, you sent me one of your like you sent me my very first Cardano NFT. I don't know if you know that,
oh,
but
I
like
now I do remember that now that you're saying it, but
like
I forgot it
ABHS,
was
and
your first.
it was my very first one, and I was just checking it out, and I'm like, oh, this is cool. And then like it's one thing that I love about Web3 too, of like you do something nice for someone and then you just make a friend. And like that's
Yeah,
so cool too.
and
Cause
it's so
like,
easy too. Yeah, like
hey, let me show you something cool. And then like I don't love it, then like I don't love it.
yeah.
Or but I do, and it's like it's a nice thing. Like this is cool. I have this like piece of art. So um if you are looking for an NFT to buy on Cardano, buy Tyler so I can put my own bags. No, I'm totally kidding. Buy it because you love the art. It's good. But
Yeah.
no, I thank you, Tyler. This is good. Well, but yeah, I'll try to get this posted tomorrow. I'm still
Awesome.
recording. It's okay. But
Okay.
then we'll probably I want to start Twitter Spaces, like, and I'll probably start it next week, but
Mhm.
you'll definitely be on if you're around.
Hell
But
yeah.
then we
Yeah, I'm
can
definitely
just
down.
like open up the discussion. Hopefully people, if they watch this or whatever, going like, hey, I'm doing this and here's where I'm struggling, like that would be a
Mhm.
cool. I mean, it won't be all about Reddit avatars every week, but like
Yeah.
we'll
I mean, I was
definitely
even gonna say too, like there's some stuff that like that I can't really speak on, like the PN or the vector stuff. So it would be cool to like have
the
to
early, yeah,
even
because people
yeah.
do art a million different ways, and I think that's
Mhm.
what's cool too. But
Yeah.
awesome. Well, thank you, Tyler. I'm going to
Thank
stop
you too.
recording and then we'll get going.
Awesome.
Take care.